for this episode, we decided to come together and just talk about the most impactful conversations, we had in 2025.
We have to continue to put ourselves in situations where we do have the support, where
Yeah.
we can lean on those. There are not a lot of us in those roles, but
Mhm.
when we are, we need to really gravitate to each other and to
Mhm.
lean on each other.
All right. Welcome back to the final edition of Leadership Sovereignty for
Wow,
2025. Man, Terry, it's,
2025.
do you realize this time last year we were recording with Andrico? Yeah, December
Ye-
24. So we
Yes,
we got a whole
yes.
year under the books now.
Yes. Yes, and
So
I just wanna give a quick shout out to Enrico, man. I appreciate I don't know if we have him in the notes, man, but he talked about that networking thing, man, and,
yeah.
just not knowing, what's so close to you that you could be using, right? Who's in your
Right.
Rolodex?
Exactly.
I'll just leave it right there, man, because
Yeah.
I went to my Rolodex in 25, man, it was 25 has been an interesting year, man. There's a lot of change, right?
Yeah, 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 absolutely, absolutely. And just for the audience, for this episode, we decided to come together and just talk about the most impactful conversations, we had in 2025 and,
Yeah.
what it revealed to us about leadership, right? You have some conversations that kind of go in one ear and go out another, but then you also have conversations that just kind of stick with you.
Yeah.
Things that you just can resonate on and take with you. So hopefully you find this beneficial, recap, of the year. We expect that these episodes will go clear into January as we start to record with our new guests. So we got an awesome lineup for you in 2025 to just take you to the next level in your leadership and your career and promotion and stuff. So we're excited about it. We're not going to give too
Yeah.
much away, but
Yeah, 26 is gonna be man, hey, we are I'll just say this, Ralph, I just wanna thank you, man, for man, you did a lot of heavy lifting in 25, bro. And the infrastructure for where we're going and I believe the impact that God is gonna allow us to happen, allow to happen through us is gonna be a lot of because of some of the really just the heavy lifting that you've done to put things in place. Like, man, let's just talk about this, right? The newsletter, and man, I
Mhm.
hope you guys are enjoying that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Man, the website, right? That was a 25 thing, right? That's some of the
yeah.
change we were talking about, and that website is just amazing. So, shameless plug. There's a little, cup of coffee, right? Just go find that. It'll
That's
make
right.
sense to you when you find it.
Yeah,
Find
yeah,
the cup of coffee on the website. We need you.
yeah.
So,
That's right.
but man, there's some of the amazing things, man. The newsletter, like I said, the website, um, just retooling a lot of the platforms that we're on to get the information out in a quicker fashion. The guru prompter, man. You didn't turn
Mhm.
it to a guru prompter, man, that allows us, to just deliver in such a great way. So I want to just give a shout out to you for all the hard work that you put into 25, man, to build a platform. So thank you.
Nah, man, I appreciate that, man. It's a team effort, right? I do a lot of the tasks, but we talk a lot, right? And then you give me a lot of great feedback, on the direction. And again, leadership probably wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for you. So I thank you, right? You was
Hey,
like, hey
God,
man, let's start
hey,
a
God,
podcast.
hey,
Here we are.
that was a God thing, man. Even from down to the name, and we'll talk a little bit about that when we kind of revisit some of the guests. But that name means more than I thought it did,
Mm,
right? And just understanding, man, the authority that God placed us as humanity on the
mm,
earth, right,
mm,
to govern, right,
mm.
and to be in relationship. So that is, man, that is you're gonna hear a lot from me on that in 26, and just my understanding of it has just broadened. So I thank God for it.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's jump into it today. And again, just want to set an expectation. These episodes will run into January 2026 as we start our recording of our new guests. So don't want you to think you missed anything, but this is our end of the year 2025 recap. So
Yes,
let's
sir.
Let's start with episode 166, Why Great Leaders Ask Better Questions. Shachella James, man, I was shocked. I was shocked. I was the one who knew Shachella before the show, and our interactions had been, brief, right? We would be at events and we would talk very briefly, right? But hadn't really talked outside of that. And when she, approached me about the conversation about curiosity, I was like, you know what? I think that's an interesting concept, so we should do that. But we learned so much. We learned so much. I mean, what are your thoughts, Terry?
Imma tell you right now, the number one takeaway for me, and I'm working on it, um, I use it every day. When I say I use it every day, ask questions that elevate.
Yes.
Bro, I
Yes.
use that every day.
Same here.
So,
Same here.
when I'm talking with my teenager, when I'm talking to my young adult,
Hmm.
especially when I'm talking to Mrs. Baylor, we ask
Ah,
questions that elevate.
elevate. Yes, yes,
And
yes.
so, man, I'll be honest, that changed my life, bro, because I
Yeah.
realized I have been asking questions in a way
Mm,
that, quite honestly, didn't elevate. It was getting to the root of it,
mhm.
but at the end of the day, that the person, you could feel great after the question, and you could not feel great after the
Right,
question.
right.
So I've really been focused on asking questions that elevate. So, man, thank you.
Yes, yes, yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Yeah, yeah,
Sensei, thank
I
you.
I think that what that revealed to me is you could still get to the destination, but how you do it matters.
Yes.
Right? You can, to your point, you can interrogate and get to the answer, or
Yep.
you can ask thoughtful questions that elevate and still get to the answer, but you preserve and build the relationship at the
Yes.
same time, right? Which
Yes.
pays its own dividends later.
Yes.
It's a few notes that we took curiosity as a differentiator and not a soft skill, right? It's
Yes.
actually important for you to incorporate this into your tool belt.
Yes.
The learn it all versus the know it all leadership, right? That was a big one. Curiosity as a
That
signal of
that was
readiness. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was a big one. You don't have to be a
No.
know-it-all,
Mm-mm.
but to learn it all,
Yes.
right? That means you're gonna continually put yourself in a position to grow. And I'll just share this, right? I learned something this week, right? So you guys know Noah, um, and I think Ralph, I'm really glad that you started off with this show, right? Or
Mm-mm.
to recap this show. Because what I've learned this week, as Noah's a golfer, right? And Ralph, you've seen Noah swing. He has a great swing.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what I've learned. Here's what I've and to all golf coaches out here, I wish you guys would stop teaching the swing, but teach position. What I've learned is there are certain positions that you start in, and throughout the swing you get there. There is a physical as there is a geometry or the anatomy of how the body wants to work.
Mm-hmm.
That same thing is in leadership. Again, right? You're asking the question,
Mm-hmm.
but positioning the question the right way makes all the difference. Like for
Mm-hmm.
instance, Noah and I learned this week in your setup, if you and I'm gonna get too technical, but if you have your trail arm in a certain position, it makes the backswing
Mm,
simple.
mm,
All these years I've been playing golf, Ralph, I did
mm,
not and I'm thinking, all the people who've given me tips, no one has said this? We've
mm.
been to 100 golf lessons, no one said this?
Yeah.
So what I learned is you may be doing going about it the right way, but you're not in the right position.
Oh, wow. That's good.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
curiosity, I believe, puts you in the right position,
Mm. I love that.
right?
Yeah. I love that.
Right. I'm gonna approach it from a standpoint of I don't know it all.
Yes.
But Ralph, prime example, I had 2 meetings this week, 2 influential meetings this week. And
Mhm.
you know the position I went into in these meetings. Now, I'm coming in, they're expecting answers out of me,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Because they
Mhm.
have questions. But you
Mhm.
know what? I went in the room empty.
Mm.
I don't know anything. I'm just
That's
gonna go
good.
let me listen.
That's
Let
good.
me hear. I'm not gonna go in talking first.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's really good.
So I
Yeah.
believe curiosity is that. It
Yeah.
puts you in the right position no matter what room you walk in.
That's good. Oh, I love that. I love that. Walking in, no matter how much of the expert you may be, walking in with, I don't know anything. right? Help me understand where are my
Yes, I'm
gaps? I'm
curious about it.
curious. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And then she talked about how curiosity builds trust. That was really
Yes,
unique to me.
yes,
That the fact that
yes,
if people know that you're going to be curious enough to get down to the root of a problem, they start to develop a trust in the fact that not just that you know the answer, but they know that you're going to go find the answer because you're a curious
yes,
person, right?
yes.
Huge nugget, huge nugget. So some of the key takeaways there: visibility is created through asking questions, not through volume. Right? She talked about the talking head in the room. Remember, the person who just who just want to ask, who just want to talk all
I
the time.
see, a name just came to my head, and I'm sure you know we probably thinking about the same
I bet
person.
I know exactly who you.
We love you though. We
Yeah,
love
yeah,
you.
yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. Strategic curiosity pulls leaders into bigger conversations. Right. I cannot stress enough how much this really helped me because there have been times where I've been in meetings or sitting at a table where the topic was something that I wasn't an expert in.
Mhm.
And I would choose to not say anything because I don't want to sound stupid. But
Right, right,
now,
right.
now I have a tool I can use called curiosity, where
Yeah.
when I hear something, I can ask, "Hey, well, can you explain that a little bit more? How does that impact this?" And that type of
Yes.
thing. And it pulls you
Yes.
into the conversation. And now,
Yes.
Terry, you talked about that one experience where you had with BJC, and you were sitting at the table, and you were like, "Hey, man, I'm the only one that's not, contributing to this
Yes.
conversation, right?"
That's
When
right. That's
you can
right.
start asking questions, and that will cause you to be pulled into the conversation. And now you're a part of the solution and not just a bystander, right?
Yes.
That was
Yes.
huge.
So true. So true. So true. And I again, right? Confidence, man, is built by engaging others.
Yes.
Right? So to
Yes.
your point, Ralph, if I can say something, let me ask a meaningful question in a
Mhm.
curious way,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
so it builds your confidence,
Yes, it does.
right? And it'll build the person's or the individual that you're engaging with their confidence in you because again, you know what you're doing? You're
Mhm.
showing that I care,
Yes.
right? You're showing that I'm interested in you. I
Yes.
want to hear you. So no, that's
Yeah.
great, man.
And I just want to shout out too, man. You made a powerful statement in that show. You said this is an excellent place for you to use your approved generative AI tool for your job to ask give me some questions, some unique questions to ask
Oh,
in this meeting, right? That is a game changer because it'll give you ideas that you never even thought about,
yeah.
right? That you
Yeah,
can at
most
least go
definitely.
in, and insert yourself if you do a little bit of preparation. So that
Yes,
was really
sir. Yes, sir.
good. I think some of the reflections that she gave, she said, getting results is important, but you don't have to know all the answers. If you can ask some powerful questions, that's how you demonstrate forward thinking. And another thing she said was one of the most defining points of leadership is how you bring others along with you. And
Yes.
using questions to be able to do that is an excellent
Yes.
tool.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. So just kind of closing out the thoughts on that show. Curiosity didn't just show up as a thinking skill this year. It actually showed up as a career accelerator,
Yes.
especially when leaders stop trying to do it all alone. So I think it was
Mm.
very empowering. Very empowering.
Mm.
Very empowering.
Yes. Stay curious,
Yes, stay
my
curious.
friend.
It's your currency.
That's right.
So let's move on to the next one. The power of people who speak up for you with Akpara Young. That was a great conversation. We actually started the year off with that one in January in 2025. What what comes to mind for you? Yeah, in that conversation, Terry.
What I loved about the conversation with Akpar was really the reflective nature of it, right? And the kinship too, right?
Hmm.
I think that was one of the first conversations where I felt like, you know what? I believe, this exchange is it felt brotherly. It
Hmm.
felt extremely brotherly, right?
Hmm.
And what we were sharing, and because Akpara had been at leadership at such a long time, right? And
Right.
being such a young guy,
Yeah.
um, and so what I took out of that too is we have to continue to put ourselves in situations where we do have the support, where
Yeah.
we can lean on those, and then just be real transparent, right? There are not a lot of us in those roles, but
Mhm.
when we are, we need to really gravitate to each other and to
Mhm.
lean on each other because I felt, I got a lot out of that.
Mhm.
Personally, I was at a major decision point in my career. And what am I going to do? I
Mhm.
had a timeline,
Mhm.
right? And and just hearing him talk about um, just being in that seat helped me further make
Mhm.
my decision. Right.
Yeah.
So it was, I love the brotherhood aspect of that conversation.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership Sovereignty Podcast. If today's conversation helped you grow in your leadership, influence, or your career, take a moment to visit leadershipsovereignty.com. There you'll find exclusive resources, free guides, and ways to stay connected to our community of leaders who are building purpose and success. Don't forget to rate, review, and share this episode with someone who's on the rise in their career. Until next time, lead boldly, lead with purpose, and continue to walk in sovereignty. Take care.